Hey, what's up? My name is Petrowski, and today I wanted to make a video talking about my top 5 general tips for investing during any event in PokeMMO. I'm going to be specifically kind of talking about the Halloween event going on right now, but these tips could be applied to any event going on in PokeMMO, although I'll be kind of relating it back to the current event. Let's go ahead and get into my top 5 tips. Alright, these tips are going to be in no order. It's just kind of, they're just scattered about, so the order isn't really telling of anything. But the first tip is going to be setting a base level of capital at which you don't want your Pokeyen stack to go below. So kind of what that means is, and I didn't do that this event, as you can see, my cash stack is teetering. You want to kind of set a cash stack limit for how low you want to see your Pokeyen stack go. Because you want to be able to have access to certain deals that might pop up in the GTL. Like, let's say an Oni mask were about to be listed for 500k on the GTL. I wouldn't be able to buy that because I just don't have enough Pokeyen to be able to buy that, right? So keeping enough yen and enough capital to be able to take advantage of certain opportunities that may arise is really important. That limit and that base level is going to be dependent on, shout out to this person. Thank you so much, by the way. That level and that base level is going to be super dependent on how much Pokeyen you have, how much capital you're starting with. I would kind of recommend like a 10% kind of thing. So if you have, let's say you have 10 million Pokeyen, I would try not to go below 1 million. That's kind of like the general rule that I would go with, but you can obviously do whatever you want. And once it goes like later on into the event, you can always make more money post-event, doing gym runs, etc. And you only have that limited amount of time to get all of those, Halloween items, vanity items, all those limited time event items. So I do understand going below that towards the end, but throughout it, you might want, throughout most of the event, you want to stay above that 1 mil threshold. If you do have like a 10 mil kind of starting capital. So keep that in mind, set a base level, be able to take advantage of opportunities if they arise, and just keep that in mind if possible. Okay, on to tip number 2. Now, tip number 2 is going to be almost the counterpart of tip number 1. Dump your capital. Don't hold your money. So if you go into an event with 10 mil, let's say, obviously don't buy stuff at the start of the event because stuff's going to be super high priced there, so be careful. But don't hold your money at the same time. You want to be putting your money as quickly as you can into items once they reach a really good price. They don't have to reach their bottom out price, but once they start getting like lower and at a really good price, that's when you want to dump your money. Don't hold your money. If your money is sitting in your Pokeyen pouch, it's not doing anything for you. It's safe. It's not going up or down, but it's also not going, it's not doing anything. It's not working. It's not being active. You want your money out into the world, similar to any sort of investing advice. You don't want to have a ton of money just sitting there when it could be making you money, when it could be rising, when it could be investing, just passively making you that income, passively, gathering you resources. It's really important to think about that. When money is sitting in your Pokeyen, thing, it's not doing anything. There's an element of safety there, but it could be active. It could be more active. So it's important to dump your Pokeyen into items, into things. It also helps the economy. That's why I've been dumping all of my Pokeyen this event, constantly putting stuff into separate Oni masks or vampire heads, or zombie heads, or goodie bags. If I'm just trying to I've been constantly, my cash stack has been teetering back and forth because I'm spending it just as fast as I'm making it, if not faster. So dump your money, use your capital, use your money to make more money. All right, tip number 3, really, really important tip. I almost put this as the last tip, but the order doesn't really matter too much. Don't panic sell. Please, 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 whatever you do, don't panic sell. Way too many people panic sell during holiday events, and it's how you lose the most money, and it feels the worst mentally. Do not panic sell. Be patient. If you buy something, wait for it to go back up to that price that you bought it at or higher before selling it. You never want to undersell something if possible. There are times where it's worth to dump it, but you have to think about everything. Don't just panic sell. That's all I can, as much as I can drill it into your head. Be careful, really analyze things, think through it a ton before selling something off. Think of all the angles. Don't just think about, oh man, I want to lose less money. Think about every angle. Think about, what time it is in the event. How much has this item fluctuated already? Let's say an item fluctuates down, but it has a history of fluctuating up and down a ton during this event. A really good example during this event would be special candies. Special candies have been constantly spiking back and forth. I feel like they're kind of at a solid price now. I think selling candies for around 24, 25K is what I'd recommend. I recommend people selling candies for no less than like $24.99, like 25K a pop is basically what I'm saying. You want to wait for this price. Like if it's listed at this price, if candies are at this price, I think I might have some candies in here listed. Go ahead and pop your candies in, list them for that $24.99, and then wait for them to sell. Because the economy is going to rubber band and it is going to bounce back and forth back into that point. I made this mistake. I sold some candies, not too many. I think I sold about 4 to 6 special candies for around 17 or 18K a pop, which was really low, towards their lowest point. I believe the lowest I saw them go personally was around 16K. But be aware of that. Don't panic sell. I saw them tanking. I panic sold a few of them a little bit because I just didn't have that many on me. And I shouldn't have done that because they bounced back to 30K within a couple hours or like within the next day. That's a huge difference. When you're selling 6 of an item for 16K or 17K versus 30K, that's a huge profit margin difference. So keep that in mind. It's really important. And yeah, just don't panic sell. Try to remain patient as possible and make your decisions with the most amount of composure as possible. Okay, on to tip number 4. Be active with the economy. The economy during events is so volatile and so drastic. Even within like a 30-minute period, things can change. Like special candies can change price by like a 5 to 6K margin per candy within like a 30-minute period, which is huge when you're selling such a high quantity of candies. It makes a world's difference in your profits. It's really, really crazy. Something I recommend players do occasionally, not all the time, and I'll get more into that with the next tip, but a decent amount, or at least occasionally, go ahead and spam click. Spam click, refresh newest offers, or you can go ahead and look something up. Like, let's say I'm really putting a lot of investment into the zombie head. Let's go ahead and search for the zombie head, sort by lowest price, and just spam refresh. And this is going to be a great way to snag some really quick deals on the economy. Go ahead and give you a seizure warning because yeah, this is going to be a pain. But this is what players do. Players will literally sit here, myself included, on a lot of my Discord, and you will sometimes see people either misprice things, put them in incorrectly, mistype, or just straight up put things in like way less than they should be, just to like kind of quick sell them. And you'll get some insane deals. This is one of the best ways to make really, really easy profit. Some of the easiest profit in the game is made by just snagging something super quickly. Earlier today, even in my Discord alone, we saw so many listings. We screenshotted some. Me and my buddy picked up a life orb for 40K each, which they'll spike back up to 80K a bit after the event is over. We saw, what else did we see? We saw, I think we saw a life orb with like 111 Pokeyen or something at 111 that was mistaken. I actually scroll up my Discord. There was some really cool screenshots. There was a red Oni mask that sold for 56K. A zombie mask that sold for 1K. There was another zombie head that sold for 3,500 Pokeyen. Like, dude, that is like, those are crazy deals. If you snag one of those, like, you're making enough Pokeyen for like half an hour to an hour of work. So just like being able to snag that in the split second can be super huge. I actually might buy these. Actually, no, these are the shield on ones. I've actually been buying up. If I see any cheap skull fossils, I've been buying them up because I would love to kind of go for a shiny Cranidos one day. But that's beside the point of this video. But I appreciate it. And yeah, basically, just keep in mind, refreshing the market can be really good and one of the best ways to make quick money. And be really quick about things, snag some good deals, some of the easiest money you'll make in the game, but it is tiring, and I want to remind you guys, don't go too hard on that. You want to be doing other stuff, and I'll get into that with my next tip. Okay, and on to tip number 5. As good as spamming the economy can be and kind of, checking the price on things, you should be actively making money while doing flips and while making your investments. So for this event, you could be special candy farming, you could be checking swarms for particles, you could be doing your gym run still, etc., etc. But focusing on the market too intensely can be a bad thing. Focusing on the economy too intensely and spam clicking the refresh too much can lead to extreme anxiety and pressure on yourself and your decisions, and it's going to put you at a greater chance to make a poor decision and to panic sell something or to panic buy something. So keep that in mind. Don't go too hard. Don't zone in too hard on just the economy as just one part of the game. You want to be out there actively making money while also, managing your flips and managing your investments. Okay, and this is kind of a quick, sixth tip, I guess. Quick word of advice that I think is actually really, really important. You should finish up your investments around 2 days before any event ends, is one of the greatest pieces of advice that I can offer anyone. Usually around the day before / the last day of the event, prices will start to spike back up again. And it's ideal if you can finish your investments before that. So you want to finish your investments. So for this event ends on November 5th. You want to be able to finish your investments either on the night of November 3rd or maybe somewhat halfway into November 4th, but even that's going to be a little that's going to be pushing it, because if prices will go up, people start to realize this sort of panic sets in. People start to realize oh shit, this is going to be the only time I'm going to be able to afford this item, or the only time I'm going to be able to get this item. It's a limited time item, only available for 6 days at this time period in this year, in this second. This kind of realization of that oh shit moment, man, this is a super, super limited time item. I don't know, just that's the realness of how tight knit the window is to get these items really sets in when it's coming to a close. You never know how much you cared about something or how much you liked something until it's gone, and that sets in really hard during events. So on the last day or the last 2 days of events, last day and a half, people really start either buying stuff up. They start rapidly buying and selling product, and stuff goes up in price a decent amount, and people are done making their investments, so they're holding all their items, so there's not as many circulating in that way, but people are still, there's more demand, people are buying them more. So keep that in mind. Best word of advice: try to finish up your investments around 1 to 2 days, 2 days if possible, 2 days before the event ends. The 4th is a little late, especially not the night of the 4th. You really want to be done noon to 2 p.m. your time on the 4th. But yeah, that's the tip that I would try to recommend to everyone. I probably should have started this video with that tip, but oops. But anyways, that's all for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're having a great day, and I hope you've really, really enjoyed the Halloween event. Like this video if you liked it and it was helpful for you. I really appreciate that. It gets my my videos into the algorithm to hopefully help more people or to reach more people, to entertain them, etc., etc. Subscribe for more PokeMMO daily content. Subscribing is one of the best ways to motivate me to keep making content, and it's really fun. I really appreciate it. But it does, it's tiring. It's a lot of work. So the motivation is a little nice sometimes. Like, subscribe, leave comments, questions, concerns, feedback, criticism, anything like that in the comment section below. You can actually become a YouTube member, which is like a Twitch sub if you're familiar with that. It's kind of like paying $5 a month to get you can post little emotes, I think, or a little like a little shiny chuckle gif in the comments if you're a YouTube member, and it also just supports me. It's also some money towards me to show that extra love and support. So you can go ahead and do that. Everything that I've just listed is all linked in the description down below if you're looking for that information or those links. You can also join my Discord link below. There's a lot of really cool people there. We've been super active during the event and are pretty active normally, but super, super active during the event, calling swarms, calling mini boss spawns, everything like that, talking to everyone about investments and great deals, etc., etc. So yeah, join that out, and I hope you guys have a great day. Keep killing this event. It's been really, really fun, and keep having fun on PokeMMO, and have an absolutely fantastic day, fellas.